Very good morning, beta. Sit down, take your seats. So, my dear student, the paper that we have to complete is biology of the chordate. Okay, and the topic we have to cover is about the reptilian biology and the amphibian biology. So, you have to deal with the topic. We have to complete the topic: origin of tetrapod, origin of amphibia, origin of reptilia, origin and evolution of reptilia. But before the origin and evolution of reptilia, you have to study the different types of skulls that are found in the reptilia. Why? Because the basis of classification of reptilia is on the types of skull: Anapsida, Synapsida, Parapsida, Diapsida. So we have to study the different types of skull. Along with it, you have some separate topic like sea moria, Cotylusauria. You are not aware with these terms, but you are very much aware about the dinosaur. So we will also study the dinosaur. And in the end, we will also study the different sensory organ of the reptilia. Now, this is the giant leap. You know, the life was originated in the ocean and then it comes to the land. Isn't it a giant leap? एक बहुत बड़ा step था ना, that the fish transformed into the tetrapod. Hence the origin of amphibia, the evolution of amphibia is also the origin and evolution of tetrapod. So we can say, write down, we can say origin of the amphibia, origin of amphibia, or we can say origin of tetrapod. Tetra means 4, pod means leg, or we can say 4 appendages, hands and legs, right? So origin of amphibia is also the origin of tetrapod. So if question comes, explain and write in detail about the origin of amphibia, or if the question is in a manner that write down and explain in detail about the origin of tetrapod, your answer will be remain the same. Because the amphibians were the first tetrapod, and the first tetrapod who comes on the land were nothing but the amphibians. Got my point? So let's start the origin of the amphibia, but before that, pay attentively and listen carefully. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. I am going to tell you about one particular thing: how to deal with such question. Whether it is the origin of amphibia, or origin of reptilia, or origin of the birds, or origin of the mammalia, or even the origin of the chordate. How to tackle with this question? There is only one way, and the way is that you have to make the evolutionary tree. At the end of your answer, you have to make an evolutionary tree along with the geological time scale. There will be some common ancestor, then it will give a branch, and then it will give the side branch, and then it will lead to the present day. There are two words: the extinct and the extant. Likh lo. Extinct mean those who are get fossilized, and extant, there are two words: extinct and the extant. Extinct are those organisms which are get fossilized, buried under the depth of the earth, and extant mean those who are prevailing, those who are right now, they are found everywhere. So the evolutionary tree that you will make will contain both the extinct species and the extant species. Write down. Okay, understand? Got it? Along with it, you have to also make the geological time scale, that whether this is happening, whether this species was flourished in the Devonian period, or Silurian period, or Triassic, or Jurassic, or Cretaceous, or Carboniferous. So you have to write down the geological time scale, and then you have to prepare a evolutionary tree. But before making that, what you have to do is you have to learn about the classification. But remember, now this is very important, not the classification of present day species. Our emphasis will be on those species which once upon a time were the dominating species, but now they are no more. So our main focus, if the question come, origin of tetrapod, origin of amphibia, origin of chordate, origin of mammalia, origin of bird, our emphasis will be always on the fossilized species. Then only we can say that that's how the evolution take place, that these species get extinct, and these are the present day amphibian, these are the present day reptiles, and these are the present day birds. Got my point? So what you have to do in a nutshell, what I am going to tell you is that you have to project the entire classification on the evolutionary tree with the geological time scale, then only your answer will be completed. Got my point? You have to project the classification on the evolutionary tree with the geological time scale, and then your answer will be completed. So first we have to study the classification, but classification of fossil animal, extinct animal. Our emphasis will not Apoda, Anura and Urodilla. Even an 8th class student knows about it. The amphibians have 3 order. The class is Amphibia, they have a 3 order. The Apoda, which is also called as the Gymnophiana. We will do it, don't get tensed. Gymnophiana, the Anura, which is Salentia, it is also called as a Salentia, and the Urodilla, which is also called as a chordata. So evolution goes like that: Apoda, then Urodilla, and then Anura. But as I told you that we have to focus on the extinct species. Got my point? I promise you this topic is one of the most important and interesting topic in the biology. There are few topics which are absolutely amazing, like the migration of the bird. One of the riddle which is not get solved in the biology. The migration of the fishes, the origin and evolution of amphibia, the origin and evolution of reptilia. So these are very, very interesting topic. So I promise you that at the end of this lecture and this complete class, not this particular class, but the complete topic, everything will be in your mind. In fact, you will search for someone to teach it. होता है ना, हमें जब कोई बहुत अच्छा लगता है तो हमको लगता है कोई मिल जाए जिसको हम पढ़ा दें. तो आपके मन में ये उमंग आएगी, तरंग आएगी कि आप ये टॉपिक किसी को पढ़ा दें, बिकॉज इट्स वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. ओके, सो विद दिस preface, let's start the classification of amphibia. So there is a class is called as a class amphibia. Write down class amphibia. And the class amphibia is divided into classes amphibia. It is divided into 4 subclasses. The class amphibia is divided into 4 subclasses. These are subclasses. These are subclasses. The class amphibia is divided into 4 subclasses. The first subclass is Labyrinthodontia. The first subclass is Labyrinthodontia. What is Labyrinthodontia? I will going to tell you very soon. We will catch the concept of each and every word. Labyrinthodontia. Second is Lipospondyli. Lipospondyli. First class is Labyrinthodontia. Second class is Lipospondyli. Third subclass is Phylospondyli. Phylospondyli. And the fourth subclass is Lysamphibia. Amphibia. So the class Amphibia is divided into 4 subclasses. The subclass Labyrinthodontia, the subclass Lipospondyli, the subclass Phylospondyli, and the subclass Amphibia. These are the 4 classes. These terms seems to be, for the first sight look very difficult, but they are quite easy. Why? Because what is the meaning of labyrintho? And what is the meaning of Dontia? What is the meaning of lipo? And what is spondyli? What is the meaning of philo? And what is the meaning of spondyli? And what LIS stand for, and what is amphibia? So you are aware about the amphibia. Apart from that, I don't think that any one of you knows about what is the meaning of these terms. You may know one thing, that what is Dontia? Teeth. Yes, very good, right. So you can write Dontia means teeth. होता है ना denticles. We say denticles. Denticles stand for teeth. And what is the labyrintho? Labyrintho means having labyrinthine fold. Having labyrinthine fold. Now what is labyrinthine fold? देखो सुनो, try to understand this is very very important. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है भाई, ध्यान से सुनना. देखो, आप जानते हो that there is something which is called as a gum, and you know then there is a teeth. Okay, then there is a teeth, and outside the teeth we have an enamel. You know the enamel is the hardest covering. This is the hardest part of your body. You are aware about it now? Yes, so to give the strength to the dentine, the teeth have 2 parts, outside the enamel and the inner side is the dentine. To give strength to the soft dentine, we have an enamel. Okay, so I can make here enamel outside, but then listen very carefully and get the concept. This enamel goes deep inside the dentine and make a fold which is called as a labyrinthine fold. Okay, so what actually happening is that the enamel goes deep inside the dentine and make a fold. These are fold. Okay, and these fold are called as a labyrinthine fold. So what is Labyrinthodontia? Labyrinthodontia is a subclass in which all those organisms falls which had a, remember all these are get extinct, no more. Once upon a time, एक समय की बात है. This is also got extinct. Once upon a time they ruled the world. This subclass is also got extinct. Only this class is extant. Got my point? So what is Labyrinthodontia? Labyrinthodontia means having labyrinthine fold. What is labyrinthine fold? Labyrinthine fold is nothing but the transverse inversion of the hard enamel deep inside the dentine to provide strength to the teeth, because they all were basically carnivores, so they have to feed on the animals. For that they need strong teeth, and to give strength to the dentine, the animal get transferred deep into the dentine and make a fold which is called as a labyrinthine fold. So if we take the transverse section of this teeth, then it will look like this. So this is a dentine, this is a dentine, and this is outside, there will be enamel, and in the cross section what you will see, that the dentine goes deep into the dentine and make transfer fold which is called as a labyrinthine fold. Okay, so these are labyrinthine fold. Labyrinthine fold of what animal? So that means कि इस सब क्लास के अंदर जितने भी एनिमल आते हैं बेटा, they all have a labyrinthine teeth. Got my point? That's why they are called as a labyrinthodontia. Now what is lipo? Lipo means scale. Lipo का क्या मतलब होता है बेटा? Lipo means scale. And what is spondyli? Spondyli means vertebrae. Spondyli means vertebrae. Spondyli means vertebrae. Philo means leaf. Philo means leaf. Philo means leaf. And spondyli means vertebrae. Got my point? So they have a vertebrae of scale type vertebrae, and they have a vertebrae of a leaf type vertebrae. Hence this classification is on the basis of types of vertebrae. Although we have two different subclasses also, labyrinthodontia and Lis amphibia, but if someone asks what is the basis of this classification, then we can say that at least two subclasses are divided on the basis of vertebrae. So whether it is the lipospondyli, the scale type vertebrae, or the phylospondyli, that means the leaf like vertebrae. Now what is the Lis? What is the Lis? Lis means smooth. Smooth. And amphibia means amphibia. So they are smooth amphibia. Their skin is smooth. And what it means smooth? That they don't have scales. Simple as this. Because they evolved from the fishes. The fishes have scale. The fishes have dermal scale. The present day amphibian don't have scale. They have a smooth skin because they have to respire with the help of skin. Got my point? So what I am going to say is that Lis amphibia are the smooth amphibia because they lack the scales on their body. Although one of the order which is called as a Gymnophiana or Apoda have scale. Remember, one of the order of amphibia have scales, but they are deeply embedded inside the dermis, not on the skin. Got my point? And the remaining order, that is the frogs and toads and salamander and newt, don't have any kind of scale. They have smooth, and that's why the subclass is Lis amphibia. Got my point? So we have to study all of this. So we have to divide all this. So these are the subclasses: labyrinthodontia, lipospondyli, phylospondyli, and the Lis amphibia. Got my point? Then we have to divide again. This labyrinthodontia is further divided into three orders. Write down, it is further divided into three orders. Now it is order Ichthyostigalia. Ichthyostigalia. The first is Ichthyostigalia. Second is Temnospondyli. Again spondyli. Temnospondyli. The first order is called as a Ichthyostigalia. The second is Temnospondyli, and the third is called as Anthracosoria. Anthracosoria. Can any one of you tell me what is the sauria means? Sauria. Sauria means lizard. Lizard. Sauria means lizard. Now you will be very surprised how this can be possible. In the classification of amphibia, suddenly the lizard appear, and you all know that lizard is a reptile. The classification of amphibia is also the evolution of reptile. So here we found that the branch, of separate evolutionary line take place, separate lineage start, and from here onwards the evolution and origin of reptilia will be start. तो इसको हम छोड़ देंगे और यहाँ से हम क्या शुरू करेंगे, origin of reptiles. लेकिन उससे पहले हम origin of amphibia तो करें. अच्छा, the anthroposoria, what is the meaning of anthroposoria, and what is soria means lizard. Okay, got it. What is the meaning of anthraco? Anthraco means black lizard. Anthraco means anthracosoria. Soria means lizard, anthraco means black. So black lizard. Now one very important thing, this order, while we are doing the classification of amphibia, is called as the anthracosoria, and its example is Seamoria. Its example is Seamoria. Remember, it's in your syllabus, Seamoria. Okay, the example is Seamoria. This same order, when we will start the evolution and origin of reptile, will call Cotylosoria. This is very, very interesting. This same will be called as a Cotylosoria. Soria means lizard, Cotyl means coal, because it was first of all found inside the coal mine, है ना, कोयले की खान में मिली थी, इसलिए इसका नाम क्या पड़ गया, Cotylosoria. But the example is same, Seamoria. Example is same, Seamoria. Okay. What I am saying, that Anthracosoria is one of the order of subclass Labyrinthodontia, and the Anthraco means black, Soria means lizard. But when we will deal with the evolution and origin of reptilia, there this group will be called as a Cotylosoria. Anthraco means black, Soria means lizard, Cotylo means that it was first discovered in the coal mines, and Soria means the lizard. But the example remain the same, Seamoria. Got my point? So when we will do the evolution and origin of reptile, we will start with the Seamoria. So that will be your, yes, the base animal, and then the tree will be originated, and then side branches, and along with the geological time scale, that will be your answer of origin and evolution of reptiles. But first we have to complete the origin and evolution of amphibia, and it's a very, very long. So the Ichthyostygielia, what is the meaning of ichthyo and what is the meaning of stygelia? Can anybody tell me? Ichthyo means, beta, ichthyo means fish. Ichthyo means fish. Stygelia means roof. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि इसका हेड फिश जैसा है, बस इसका मतलब ये है कि इसके अंदर रूफिंग फिश जैसी है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ इक्थायोस्टिगेलिया. और दिस ऑर्डर इज वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस सब क्लास Labyrinthodontia, in the Labyrinthodontia, Ichthyostygielia, and in the Ichthyostygielia, you have a very, very famous fossil link, connecting link, intermediate link, one of the great discovery of past 20-25 years, and the name is Tiktaalik rosier. What is the example? What is the species? Tiktaalik rosier. Tiktaalik rosier. And this is nothing but the fishapod. This is fishapod. चलिए, with this much background, let's start with the story. ये समय कहानी का. So there was a professor whose name was नील शुबिन, क्या नाम था बेटा? नील शुबिन. He was professor in the University of the Chicago. He was basically a paleontologist, and his expertise was in the fish paleontology. और होता क्या था, according to him, I am just using his word, वो ये कहता था कि जब वो आपकी तरह MSc का स्टूडेंट था, तो what their teacher used to teach them that there is a fish, ancient fish, which is called as a Eusthenopteron. I will write its name, don't worry. Eusthenopteron, which was more like a fish, and suddenly it gave rise to the four-limbed tetrapod. Now, how this can be possible? This is almost impossible. There must be a connecting link which should be half like the amphibian and half like the fish. If we will found such type of fossil, if we can able to found such type of fossil, then only we can say that yes, this is the connecting link, and this is the fish, this is the fishapod, half fish, half tetrapod, and then the tetrapod. Then the this line will be completed. Otherwise there will be a gap. तो उन्होंने ये सोचा, नील शुबिन ने ये सोचा कि I will fill this gap, है ना? पर कहना तो बड़ा आसान है, करना बड़ा मुश्किल है. For that, ये जो यूस्थेनोप्टेरॉन था ना बेटा, ध्यान से सुनना, ये जो यूस्थेनोप्टेरॉन फिश थी, जो कि फिश जैसी थी, इट वॉज नियर अबाउट 365 मिलियन ईयर एगो, देवोनियन पीरियड के आसपास. और जो फर्स्ट टेट्रापोड जो मिले थे वो नियर अबाउट 380 मिलियन ईयर एगो. यानी कि अगर हम 375 मिलियन ईयर एगो जाएं, यानी कि लेट डेवोनियन पीरियड में जाएं और वहाँ कुछ ढूंढें, वहाँ ढूंढें मतलब उस रॉक्स को ढूंढें जो कि लेट डेवोनियन पीरियड की हो, तो हमें मिल सकता है कुछ ऐसा दैट इज इंटरमीडिएट बिटवीन द फिश एंड द टेट्रापोड. एंड देयर इज अ सेइंग इन हिंदी, मानव जब जोड़ लगाता है तो पत्थर पानी बन जाता है. तो उन्होंने ये बीड़ा उठाया और उसको सफल करके दिखाया. उन्होंने अपनी जियोलॉजी की एक किताब खोली एंड ही वाज सर्चिंग फॉर 4 थिंग. फर्स्ट, द करेक्ट टाइप्स ऑफ द रॉक्स, द करेक्ट एज ऑफ द रॉक्स, दैट लेटर डेवोनियन 375 मिलियन ईयर एगो वाली रॉक्स. सेकेंड, इट शुड बी सेडिमेंट्री, इट शुड नॉट बी इग्नियस, इट शुड नॉट बी मेटामॉर्फाइज्ड. कौन सी होनी चाहिए? सेडिमेंट्री, कि एक ऐसा कोई फिशापोड रहा होगा और सडनली उसके ऊपर क्या हो गया, सेडिमेंट आ गए, कुछ भी रेत वगैरह आ गई, इट गॉट ब्यूरिड इनसाइड द सैंड एंड देन इट बिकम फॉसिलाइज्ड. सो पहला, राइट एज ऑफ रॉक. सेकंड, राइट टाइप ऑफ रॉक. थर्ड, इट शुड बी वेदर्ड. क्या पर्पस सॉल्व होगा मुझे बताइए कि आपको ज़मीन के अंदर 20 फीट, 30 फीट, 40 फीट छेद करना पड़े. वाई डोंट वी सर्च फॉर सच रॉक्स विच आर गेट एक्सपोज्ड बाई इट्स ओन. आप यहाँ पर हैं, यू आर इन अ जोलॉजिकल क्लास इन अ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ जोलॉजी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ राजस्थान, और जस्ट आपके सामने देयर इज़ अ अरावली रॉक्स, अरावली हिल्स. नाउ दीज आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एंशियंट रॉक ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. India is blessed with 2 things. We have the oldest mountain range, which is called as a Aravalli range, and the newest mountain range, which is called as a Himalaya. Once upon a time, these Himalayas, ये कोई कहानी नहीं है भाई, ये सच्चाई है अब मैं जो बयां कर रहा हूँ. This is, once upon a time, they were as tall as a Himalaya, Great Himalaya, 8,840 meters, something like that. Got my point? But they get denuded. They got eroded. Simple with the air and water. इसको गंजा कर दिया, इसकी पहाड़ियों को गंजा करते करते इतना कर दिया. किसने? सिर्फ हवा ने और पानी ने. आप देखते हो प्रकृति और कुदरत, हवा भी अपना प्रभाव डालती है. आप सोचते हो हवा का क्या कर सकती है? अरे भाई, हवा चट्टानों को समतल कर सकती है. पानी क्या कर सकता है? हर बार जब पानी अपने साथ बह के जाता है तो कुछ कण अपने साथ लेके जाता है. फिर तभी तो आप डेल्टा के अंदर आपको फर्टाइल सैंड मिलती है, because it carries some part of the rock, the fertile part of the rock, the minerals from the rock. So he was looking for the correct. Now think like you are the Neil Shubin and you have to search for the fishapod. This work has been given to you. You have allotted this responsibility. Now what you will do, you will first search for the late Devonian type of rock. Second, you should be look for the sedimentary rock. Third, you should be look for the eroded rock. And fourth, that you should have a money You should have a fund to go and search for that type of rock. Until or unless you don't have money, है ना. सबसे बड़ी समस्या क्या है? आर्थिक समस्या. वो अगर सॉल्व हो जाए और आपको ये 3 पैरामीटर मिल जाएं, then you can go and explore for the Fishaport. Okay, and on the fateful year 2004, their team in the Ellesmere Island, उन्होंने एक ज्योग्राफी की किताब खोली और देखा कि कहाँ कहाँ जा सकते हैं. तो एक तो उनको इस तरह की लेट डेवोनियन रॉक मिली पेल्सनवेनिया के अंदर. दूसरी उनको रॉक्स मिली जो कि मिली लगभग ग्रीनलैंड के आसपास. और तीसरी उनको मिली कनाडा के एक आइलैंड है एल्समेयर आइलैंड. व्हाट वाज द नेम ऑफ द आइलैंड? राइट डाउन. एल्समेयर. एल्समेयर आइलैंड. Where it is situated? It is situated in the North America, North Canada, or you can say Arctic Canada. So they went in the Ellesmere Island and start searching in the Arctic Canada for this Fishaport, half fish and half amphibian character. If they will be able to found it, then they can declare yes, Darwin was true, that we are here with the process which is called as evolution, which is a slow gradual process in which the due course of time the simple organism get replaced by the complex organisms, or those organisms which are more adapted to the prevailing conditions. Got my point? You know that 99% of all the animal species that ever survive are now extinct. Only 1% of the animal species are now prevailing. All other species are got extinct. 99% स्पीसीज का समूल रूप से क्या हो चुका है? विनाश हो चुका है. सिर्फ 1% स्पीसीज ही अपने आप को अडेप्ट कर पाई और वो हमें राइट नाउ हमें क्या करती है? अपने आसपास दिखाई देती है. गॉट माई पॉइंट? सो यू विल रिमेंबर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ शिकागो, पैलियोंटोलॉजिस्ट नील शुबिन, एल्समेयर आइलैंड, एंड दे वर लुकिंग फॉर द Fishaport. And one day they will found the Fishaport, which was exactly like a fish and exactly like an amphibian. And that day they publish a paper and it got published in the Science and Nature. And now we have a fossil whose name is Tiktaalik rosier. Now, being a student of Dr. Santosh Kumar Charan, it's your responsibility that even at the end of your last day of your life, you should remember till your last date Tiktaalik rosier, which is a Fishaport, half fish and half tetrapod, half amphibians, or half tetrapod because the amphibians were the first tetrapod. Got my point? So we have to study Tiktaalik rosier. In which category? Ichthyostyglia. In which category? Labyrinthodontia. In which category? Amphibia. But along with it, yes, first is the Tiktaalik rosier, second is Ichthyostyga. These are the example of Ichthyostygalia, Ichthyostyga. Then we have Ventustyga. Ichthyostyga is a genus. Ventustyga. Ichthyostyga is a genus on which this name of the order is proposed, Ichthyostygalia. And the example is Ichthyostyga, then Ventustyga, then fourth Acanthostyga. What are the example? The example are Ichthyostyga, Acanthostyga, Ventustyga and Tiktaalik rosier. Tiktaalik rosier, not rosy, Tiktaalik rosier. So now we are in the condition that we will draw our dream fossil which proved Darwin right, that yes, there are connecting link. Now we have a connecting link, the story is got completed. Now we have a connecting link between the fish and the amphibian, which is called as a Tiktaalik rosier. Now we have a fossil between the amphibian and the reptile, which is called as a Seamoria. Now we have a connecting link between the reptiles and the aves, which is called as the Archaeopteryx. Now we have a connecting link between the reptiles and the mammalia which is called as a cynognethus. And now we have a connecting link between the ape and the human which is called as a Lucy. Australopithecus afarensis, अभी अपन उसका भी करेंगे, है ना? So we have a connecting link. That's how the evolution take place, gradually, slowly. एक पूरी तस्वीर आपके सामने बन रही है ना, लेकिन आपने एक बात गौर की, Have you noticed one thing? मैंने सबके बीच में connecting link बताया, but I miss one connecting link. A connecting link between the reptilia and the bird we have, you know, Archaeopteryx, but not between the bird and the mammalia, because the mammalia are not evolved from the birds. In fact, the one branch of the reptilia give rise to the bird. In fact, all birds are the glorified reptiles. They are the ancestor of the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are not extinct. Dinosaurs are very much with us, surrounding us. ये देखो चिड़िया बोली, यही डायनासोर है. They are the flying dinosaurs, है ना? तो they are the dinosaur. Yes, that's true. Dinosaurs are not extinct. They are very much, those who are survived become the birds. Got my point? और रेप्टिलिया से एक ब्रांच निकली जिसने साइनोग्नेथस और इस तरीके से आगे किसको जन्म दिया? मैमेलिया का. There is no direct link between the bird and the mammalia. Got my point? So it's a time to draw the Tiktaalik rosier. So open your page and start drawing. May I rub this? Okay. संभालो अपनी पेन पेंसिल. कितना मिनट और है बेटा? 16 minutes is sufficient. Okay. We will draw the Tiktaalik rosier and we will prove with the help of the diagram that yes, it is a true representative of the connecting link. Why? Because it is half fish and half amphibia, half tetrapod. So draw the Tiktaalik rosier. For that I need a chalk. So basically the Tiktaalik rosier was a flat-headed fish. Remember the fish don't have flat head, they have a round head. Okay, and the eyes are at the at the lateral side, at the interior side. Even they have if they have a nares and nostril, that they are present on the, because there are many lungfishes also, remember. But they have some conical mouth, and you know, the eyes are on the interior side. But in the flat-headed fish, आप सोचो आपके पास एक crocodile है. So what you will see, the crocodile or even the frog and toad, what they have? A flat head and the eyes on the top and the nostril. They are not at the interior side, they are somewhat at the behind, posterior side, near the eyes. They are on the top, so they can stick their head out of the water and see and respire. Got my point? So अगर हमें कोई ऐसी मछली मिले बेटा, कोई ऐसी फिश मिले जो हो तो फिश जैसी, लेकिन जिसका हेड कैसा हो? एम्फीबिया की तरह फ्लैट हो, तो हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? वो फिशापोड है. And this Tiktaalik rosier head is flat and it has got eyes, not at the interior side but at the posterior side on the top. Then it has got nostril. These are nostril and they are present near to the eye. So this is flat head. This is flat head. And remember, it belongs to the Labyrinthodontia. That means they have a labyrinthine teeth. So we have also draw the teeth. And these teeth are very sharp and very, very strong. Why? Because it has got labyrinthine fold. The animal get transferred deep into the dentine to give the strength. Now it is able to capture and hold the prey inside his mouth. But the head is flat. These are nostril. These are nostril. This is eye orbit. This is a flat head. Then the body is like a fish. The body is like a fish. And it has also got the caudal fin. Now if some animal has a fin and that too a caudal fin, then this is 100% a fish. So it has got caudal fin. This is caudal fin. That's mean it is a fish. And it has got, dermal scales. If it has got a dermal scale, now we know that amphibian don't have dermal scale. So if it has dermal scale, then it's 100% it's a fish, because fishes have scale. So this is a fish. Dermal scale. Amphibian don't have this quality.
Tail-like structure movable है फिर?
Yes, it's a very much movable. No, it's a movable. If you want, इसको थोड़ा सा ऐसे कर सकते हो, है ना? लेकिन सुनिए, never thought of making a beautiful diagram in your examination. Then you will only conclude it with the diagram, nothing else. Try to make a neat and clean diagram with scientifically correct proportion. Okay? So this is the flat head, then this is the trunk, and this is a tail, just like a fish. But then it has got neck. This is neck. N-E-C-K, this is neck. The fishes don't have neck. We have a neck. The lizard have a neck. Dinosaur had a neck. The crocodile have a neck. Even a birds have a neck. But fishes don't have a neck. ये सुविधा फिशेस को नहीं है. कभी देखा है ऐसी मछली को मुड़ते हुए? भाग जाओगे, कोई मछली मुड़ के तुमको देखेगी. But this was the fish which has a free movable neck. So head can rotate independent of the rest of the body. That means it was amphibian. It cannot be a fish. Okay. The eye shows that this is a amphibia. The position of eye shows that this is amphibia. The position of nostril shows that this is amphibia. Now having a movable neck proves that this is a amphibia. But having the dermal scale shows that it is not a amphibia, but actually it is a fish. And then it has got tail, and tail has a caudal fin. Then that means it is a fish. But then it has got the, what we say, it has got the notochord and the vertebral column. It has got the notochord. And do you know what is the size of this animal? Do you know? Have you any idea? You will be get surprised. This is near about, oh my God, this is very, very interesting. This is near about 2.7 meter, which is equal to near about 8.86 feet. So this is a huge fishapod. Call it is amphibian or call it, तुमसे लंबाई में ज़्यादा थी भाई, ध्यान रखना, तुमसे तो बड़ी है ये, आज भी बड़ी है, कल भी बड़ी थी, ठीक है ना? So 8.8 feet, 2.7 meter long, big fish or amphibian, or better to say fishapod. Then another a very interesting character which shows that this is not a fish. This is 100% amphibia. Why? Because it has got the interconnected rib cage. Fish do not need a rib cage. The vertebrae get fused and make a rib cage. Why you need a rib cage? You have to need a rib cage because you have to drag your body on the land, so protect your visceral organ, to protect your liver, to protect your heart, protect your other organs and reproductive organs. You need a rib cage. We have a rib cage. So you need a rib cage if you have to come out of the water. If you are inside the water, you get the buoyancy from the water. You don't need a rib cage. The water itself is a skeleton. Water itself is a protection, the hydrostatic skeleton. But it has got a rib cage. That means 100% it come on the land. That means if it come on the land, then it is a amphibia. So write down, this is a rib cage. Yeah, you can say interconnected ribs make a rib cage. So this is 100% a amphibian. This cannot be a fish. But then it has got what? It has got what? Pelvic and pectoral fins. Now we all know that fins is present in the fishes, not the amphibian. So you will found some sort of this pectoral girdle, and attached to the pectoral girdle, what you will notice is a limb. It has got a limb. So this is a limb. Or what is limb? It's not a limb, basically it's a fin. Or we can say lobed fin, like the crossopterygi fish has. It has got a lobed fin. That means it is 100% a fish, because it don't have legs and hands. It has got a fin. This is a what fin? This is a pectoral fin. And not only pectoral fin, it has also got pelvic fin also. Although not that much developed, but yes, there were a fin. So having said that, pectoral fin and the pelvic fin, that means it is 100% a fish. This is a fish. But very interestingly, when you see deep down the anatomy of these bones, you will find the tetrapod structure. Now pay attention, listen very carefully. जितने भी टेट्रापोड इस धरती पे हैं, घोड़ा, गधा, बकरी, गाय, सुअर, जितने भी दिमाग में ला सकते हो ले आओ. इवन बर्ड्स, मेमेलिया, डॉल्फिन, है ना, frogs, toads, whatsoever, all kind of tetrapod, they have one thing common. And what is? One bone, two bone, many bone, and the fingers. So if we found the same pattern here, one bone, then two bone, then many bone, and the fingers, it will be proved that it is a amphibia. And we found the same exact, we found here the one bone, call it as a humerus bone, then two bone, radio and ulna, then many bone, and then 5 fingers, 5 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is definitely a amphibian. This is definitely a tetrapod, because this limb is a tetrapod limb. Tetrapod limb. So this is not a fish. This is a amphibian. Because although it is a fin, but fin has what? They have a tetrapod plan. So one bone, remember, one bone, two bone, many bone, and the fingers. इसको क्या बोलते हैं बेटा? Femur, then tibia fibula, then tarsal and the metatarsal. One bone, two bone, many bone, and the fingers. So we found the same plan here: the humerus, the radial, then many carpals, and then the digits than the finger. So definitely it is a what? It is a tetrapod. It can drag its body on the land and spend some time with the help of this, and you know, these limbs, these bone have a joint. So like my wrist, I can bend my wrist, I can bend my elbow. So they have not only just this plan, but they have a movable joints also. So अगर किसी के पास movable joints हैं और ये limb pattern है, definitely it can come on the land. So this fish or amphibia, or better to say fishapod, was spending quite a good time on the land. So having said that, this particular character is of amphibian type. This particular character, the raised nostril, the raised eye orbit, is a amphibian character. This movable neck, this is not just neck, but this is a movable neck. Movable is a amphibian character. This particular tetrapod limb is a amphibian character. But then this dermal scale shows that this has a fish character. Then this is a pectoral fin, this is a pelvic fin. Presence of the pelvic fin confirm that it is a fish. Then the presence of the caudal fin confirm that it is a fin, it is a fish. And then the interconnected rib confirm that this is not a fish, it is actually a amphibia, it is a tetrapod, and it spend a lot of time on the land. With the help of this rib cage, it protects its internal organ. Okay, so in the end we will say that because it has a half fish character and half amphibian character, so this is a connecting link. This is a connecting link, and its name is, yes, बताओ, great Tiktaalik rosier, the true representative of the fishapod, the true fish and the true amphibian or the tetrapod character. Ellesmere Island, 2004, Neil Shubin and Edward Deschler discovered this specimen. We have a fossil. You can also see the YouTube link and the many diagram that I will share in the WhatsApp group. You will found exact all this plan. अब मुझे सिर्फ एंड में ये बता दीजिए कि ये डायग्राम देने के बाद में आपको सारे करेक्टर याद रहेंगे? You have to just think in your mind, draw this diagram, and you will able to write each and everything about it. I think with this we will stop today's our lecture, and in the next class we will start with the ichthyostiga, acanthostiga, ventostiga, then the temnospondyli, then the anthrochosauria. In the temnospondyli we will study the rachitomy, which have Ariops and Cocops, 8 feet, 9 feet, 6 feet big, huge frog-like animals, frog-like amphibians. Once upon a time they were the only tetrapod on the planet Earth. They were the only carnivore, they were the only predator, and they have plenty of food to eat. They have a lot of insect and lot of the molluscans and lot of annelids to feed, and no one there to feed upon them. So they were ruling the world, the Ariops and the Cocops. Then we have a Butneria, we have a stereospondyli. Stereo means round, spondyli means vertebrae. And then we have anthrochosauria, and then we will start towards the reptilia. But before that, there were Lis amphibia, and also the phyllospondyle, and also the lipospondyle. So we will also study the fossil representative of those parts. We have a microbranchis, we have a microbrachis, we have a diplocus, and we have other fossils also. So this is very, very interesting. At the end of this topic, one thing will be clear, that yes, Darwin was very true. We have entire record of the fossils, and yes, evolution was and is a fact. We are here because of the evolution. We are not created by some supernatural power. We are not creatures, but we are evolved one, although from the monkeys and apes. But we are very much connected from, and we must be very much thankful to these फिशापोड, क्योंकि क्रांति की शुरुआत तो उसने की, हम तो उसके फ्रूट्स खा रहे हैं. So have a big clap for the Tiktaalik Rosie. Thank you for coming on the land and giving this beautiful life which is called as a humanity. With this, thank you so much.